Calvin struggles with Tracy's decision to relocate Calvin Jr. to Houston, and Malik hosts an impromptu election night watch party with a nervous Councilman Dustman. That's the episode synopsis for tonight's new episode of Tyler Perry's House of Payne, season 13, episode 20, y'all. Okay, y'all. So first things first, let me know y'all thoughts on tonight's new episode down below. Look, one thing for certain, what I got out of this episode is that Calvin is 100% in love with Miranda still. But we knew this though. We knew this before he even told CJ how he feels. We knew this. But then the second thing is about the same situation. Laura didn't want to help Calvin until she found out that Miranda had help or was trying to help. But yeah, who we gonna start with first? Ella and Calvin. So Calvin wanted to talk to Ella about Tracy. That's when he revealed that she wants to take Calvin Jr. to Houston, move there. Did they say that was her boyfriend or fiance? I don't know. But yeah, and she was encouraging him, telling him that he needs to get a lawyer and be prepared, excuse me, be prepared to fight or whatever. So he went home to Laura, and he ends up talking to Laura about it. And she said, what she said? She thinks that Calvin Jr. should be with his mom and stuff like that. And she wanted him to drop it and not pursue it because he was talking about, calling a lawyer and stuff like that. He had got in contact with Peanut. Peanut said he had somebody, a lawyer person. He had a lawyer. He knew a lawyer or something that could help or whatever. And she was like, she still don't think that he should pursue that because Calvin Jr. needs to be with his mother and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. Now, we already knew how he felt about Miranda. But I said, no, that wasn't what I was about to say. We already knew these folks shouldn't be together. But I feel like you telling him he should... Do y'all think she was telling him to give up on his child or just, not fight it? She was saying how she don't need no more drama and stuff like that. And I was like, girl, it's already been drama. It's been drama that you don't even know about yet. But yeah, look, I'm waiting on the doggone wedding or non-wedding. I read the episode synopsis. I think it was episode 21. It said something about... basically, Laura gonna be at odds with Ella. Did they say Ella and the Paynes or just Ella? I don't know, but she's supposed to be at odds with Ella, I know for sure. So I said, oh my goodness. So is that gonna be the season finale or what? But yeah, so he went to pick up, I think he came to pick up Calvin Jr. and Miranda came to pick up Christian. So he was saying how he needed to talk to her. And I said, now with that, I agree with Laura. With that, because she told him, she was like, if we're going to be married, you can't just run to Miranda, run to your ex-wife every time, there's a situation going on. And she was saying how to give me a chance to help and stuff like that. You told him, now that part, you told him, you think that he should stay with his mama or whatever. So you weren't trying to help until you seen Miranda had already got him in, or was trying to get him in touch with a lawyer or whatever. But I do agree, if y'all gonna get married, you can't, every time you turn around, Miranda did. Remember the police episode? She jumped in that. And not just that. What else was it? It was something else. It was the dance situation. It was multiple situations. And I'm like, okay, if you gonna marry this lady, you can't just keep running to her. Then, once again, she got the doggone emergency key back. How'd she get the doggone emergency key back? But yeah, I was like, I agree with her on that. But yeah, he ends up telling Miranda about Tracy. And I wrote down, I said, just get your wife back at this point. Just get your wife back at this point. The fact that then the whole moment where Christian had came out, Christian ended up saying, he doesn't want Junior to go. Junior ends up saying he don't want to go. So Junior went over there and hugged Miranda, and they was just saying how they just want to stay as a family or whatever. I said, when did Ella get back right there? Look, I thought she had went in the other room. Look, she just popped up out of nowhere. I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, I know, I think that Calvin said something about he wanted to talk to Miranda. That's why I was like, when did Ella get in the room? But yeah, she was like, oh, that's so beautiful. But then he went back home. Calvin went back home. I'm trying to remember, when he got back to the house, has she changed her mind? What did she say? I don't know if she said something to him first or what. I think she said something about talking to Peanut, about the guy that's supposed to be helping. And he was like, no, I'm actually going to go in a different route. Miranda knows somebody. And the look on her face, she dropped everything. Then she got highly upset. And I said, I agree, though, because if you're going to marry this lady, which I highly doubt it, you can't be sitting up here running. That's why people be overstepping now. No boundaries whatsoever. I was like, no boundaries. Then he had the nerve to be upset that she was upset. But yeah, he was saying how he's not giving up on his son and stuff like that, and she was like, you could just trust me to help you and stuff like that. So she ends up calling Devin, Tracy boyfriend, fiance, whoever he was. And I was like, what, how she get his number? She said something about she inboxed him or whatever, and he wanted to talk to him. So she called him. They got on the phone. He was saying how he understand because he has a brother or somebody who went through the same thing, and he gonna talk to Tracy about allowing Calvin Jr. to stay with him. So he was happy. He ends up hugging her, and she was saying how she's still upset. So she need a bag. She need this. She need that. And he was like, "Oh, I just got a sharp pain in my back, y'all." I forgot what I was saying. What is she was saying she need a bag and stuff like that. He was saying, they still got a budget and save for this wedding or whatever. I still feel like the wedding should be the doggone mid-season finale or the nun wedding. I don't know, but yeah. And then she started talking about, well, I need more flowers and stuff like this or whatever. But they made up look like it. And with Malik now, I think he was finna get ready to head out to the little campaign party or whatever. And the councilman Dustman or whatever, he showed up. He was nervous. He was pacing back and forth. He just thought that he wasn't going to win. By the end of the episode, he ended up winning. And he gave Malik a promotion. He ends up giving him a promotion or whatever. But that's all that happened. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the night. Be safe.